I have this huge patch of lemon thyme, and these are some rungs from a chair that got stuck in them just for some artistic flair. As you can see, it's getting ready to flower, so I need to record this video, and then what I'm going to do is leave a small portion of it somewhere and come back and record it flowering. So the scientific name is Thymus by citriodorus, and the family is the Lamiaceae. Look at it blowing in the breeze. So the word Thymus, which I always think in my head thyme, it's not thyme, it's lemon thyme, the common name. And the name Thymus, the scientific name, is from the ancient Greek word thymos. And the word citriodorus means lemon scented. So since the ancient Greek people and the ancient people in Greece named this, it's been around a long time. I wonder what foods they put it in. This herb is one of the few herbs I really like to grow. The other one is lemon balm, which is over there. And I dry it by hanging it upside down and putting it in a big bowl and tossing it once a day or so. Most often, I don't know. I do it both ways. After it is dried and crunchy, I put it in a gallon-size baggie and I crunch it between my fingers, allowing the leaves to fall in the bag and grabbing the stems to toss them away. It's tedious work. It's not so bad with the lemon balm, but with these tiny stems on here, it is tedious work. But then again, it's therapeutic in its own way. Did you come to visit me, Miss Tizzy? It's kind of like one of them massage balls where they give it to you as a stress reliever. The stems are quite small, so it takes a lot of patience to get them all out. And I love putting these in shortbread cookies or scones. That's the way I use this most of the time. It's a wonderful breeze out here, and they're just wobbling in the wind. So the aroma reaches its peak just before flowering. It's that way with most herbs, so I generally never let this flower, but I'm going to cut it today as soon as I finish filming this, and I'm going to let a few of them come to full flower and come back and record it later. As you can see here, if allowed to flower, it's this really pale lilac color. It reminds me of clover flowers, but clover flowers are white. So you will see that when it gets to a full flowering. The plant tolerates drought, which is why it grows really well in this bed. I actually had trouble growing anything in this bed because the soil was not good soil that my husband went out and found and put in it when we first built the bed. And my friend said to me, try some herbs there. I bet you they'll grow there. They grow anywhere. And I was like, they do? And sure enough, they did. I did have some mint here between the two. I've decided to quit growing mint because these are the two I end up eating. And I do love giving them away as gifts too. Every time somebody comes over and sees my plant, I say, do you want some lemon thyme? Now in the winter, if it's mild, this stays evergreen, which is so cool. And I'll cut it all the way back. Of course, you know, I cut it all the way back when I'm harvesting it. So the last harvest of the season, I just leave it there. And this has been coming back year after year. And I'm in zone 6B, formerly, now 7A because of global warming. So this herb can be used in many dishes, either fresh, like I could walk out here and just pinch some of it off, or dried is how I use it most of the time. It's included in salads, soups, sauces, stews, cookies, pastries, and meat. Just anywhere you would regularly use thyme. If you see a recipe for thyme, you can use lemon thyme in it. I just like this variety because it's got a softer flavor to me, not as harsh. Okay, so it's all trimmed. I got this new basket for free, and I love it. And I just use these pair of scissors for everything in my garden. Just grab it by the handful like this and trim. That way I have it in my hand and I put it in here. I've left that little bit in the back so we can watch it bloom. And I'll get at least 2 more harvests out of this year. So here we go. I took the scissors out for a photo op. So if you put it in your tray or basket, all facing the same direction, you can easily pick them up and tie them together. I keep this little bit of jute. I like the white. It comes in regular jute color as well, and that's what I tie it up with. I have what I call my tea cabinet here, and I chose to hang them here. I love walking right through here in the hallway and smelling them as they dry. There's another one hanging from that handle, and there's another one over here hanging from the corner of my tea cabinet. We'll let them hang there. I think it's less than a week, and then start the next process. It has been over a week. I'm so busy, and these lemon thyme are crunchy. So it's time to do the next part. So the rain is coming in. I was planting seeds, but I'm changing tasks. You can see the rain clouds coming in. I have both my lemon balm, this larger one, and the lemon thyme in my basket. These are my supplies. I'm going to be doing them at the same time or starting them. I have a big bowl here. I sit down. And then I have 2 gallon-sized baggies marked lemon balm and lemon thyme. So I've taken the lemon thyme and I've put it in the gallon-sized baggie, and I used my scissors to snip off the twine. And I've already worked on the lemon balm. There's a companion video of doing these sort of at the same time. The lemon balm's much quicker to do. This takes me longer to do. But basically what I do is I hold the little stems with my right hand, and then I grip them like this with my left hand, and I'll pull the stem out, and all the little herb will stay in the bag. And then I have my big bowl here that eventually it'll get smaller. I won't need such a big one. That's where I put my stems temporarily until I can walk it to the trash can. You can see I already dumped it from the lemon balm. And so here goes. I've barely gotten started, but I wanted to show you, these are much smaller than the lemon balm ones, if you've watched that video. This is so super relaxing. Listen to the rain on the metal roof. Just close my eyes and listen to the rain, but I can't do that and work at the same time. But this is mindless work. Pulling all the herb off of the stems is mindless work. You can just let your mind go. You can be soothed by the rain, or I watch TV and do it. I chat with somebody and do it. But right now it's just me and the puppy dogs. Here's the other one. She doesn't like the rain. It's Tizzy. They're hanging out with Mama, relaxing. I tell you, this is a good thing to do. The garden's so lovely. It's slow work getting there. Do you hear the baby birds chirping on the carport behind me? The sounds, the sights, the smells, the textures between my fingers, all the senses, except for I haven't tasted it yet. The sound of the rain, the sound of the birds, the view of the garden, the smell of the lemon balm and lemon thyme, the texture, the little prickly of the stems between my fingers as I pull them off. Getting a little more in my bowl. My fingertips are getting a little raw. See how much smaller this is than the lemon balm? And you can see how it's still on the stems at the top, but look at all the tiny leaves developing at the bottom of the bag. This may take me several days to do, and hubby may even help. Okay, I have my bag of lemon thyme. You can't see it very well through the bag, but it's all done. Let's take it out. So I dumped it out. I normally would try to go straight in the jar. Got a jar there. Got a jar of last year's here to compare. But I like setting it up for a photo op. But look how green and lovely it looks. Doesn't it just kind of make you happy to know you grew that and you took such care of it to make it look so good post-production? Post-plucking? Post-harvesting. How's that? It always looks so great against the white tray. And let's compare it to last year's. And you see, there's not any difference between last year's and this year's. Same color. It stays green. I love that it stays so fresh when I hand dry it and hand process it. And there it is. All in the jar. All done. Didn't quite fill up a whole jar, but close. There's plenty more for the next batch later in the season. I can add more and I can squish it down. I have been waiting a while for this lemon thyme to bloom so I could finish this video, and I think this is about the best I'm going to get to show you. So let's do it. Oh my goodness, it smells good now that I did that. So let's see, it's coming from down here and it's pretty long. I'm looking at this one that has the most blooms on it. The blooms are so tiny. And then there's a large gap and more blooms, and a large gap and more blooms. The blooms are such a pale lilac, purple, almost white color. It's really not that showy. I don't think it's worth letting it bloom, especially since once it blooms, the lemon thyme isn't as strong. Here's some more. Let's pull it up. Now, it might be a little more lovely with the whole patch rather than a little bit on the end. There, I tried gathering some together so you could see. Super tiny. Reminds me like a fairy garden. What do you think? It's lovely in its own way. I could and will pick this and put it in a little container. Oh goodness, there's some flies going around. I think it's because the storm's coming in. There you go, my personalized little bouquet of flowers. I have some spider plant. My husband stuck that in. He found the wind blew it off on the ground. I have some yarrow that I cut almost a week ago. And I put the lemon thyme in here. And now whenever the fan, which I have right there, blows on it, or a waft of air, I smell lemon thyme. It's so pleasant and lovely. My own little personal thing. A little bit of happy little things bring me joy.